everyone, welcome to Melissa's Masterclass. Today we are going to do a fun, bright, colorful spring pasta dish. If you've ever wanted to wow people and serve something different, this is definitely the dish for you. We are going to start with our pasta, and we have water boiling for our pasta. First thing you're going to always want to do is add salt to your water. Honestly, it should taste like ocean water. So you're going to add a good amount of salt to your water. And then we have our pasta. So this pasta is actually one of my favorite recipes. A lot of times I think people don't realize how easy it is to make pasta. It's actually so simple. This recipe in particular is 1 cup of 00 flour, which is your typical pizza flour. It has a higher gluten content. And then you add 7 egg yolks to it. You kind of take your flour and you make a little, almost like a little flour mountain. And you're gonna make a well in the middle that you crack your eggs into, and then with a fork, you start to slowly pull your flour in until it forms a paste. Once it forms a paste, it's honestly easier to switch to your hands. And once you've got it to kind of form into a ball, you're gonna need for anywhere from 8 minutes to 10 minutes. Once it's nice and smooth, like you'll be able to look at it and tell. And then you let it rest for an hour. If you're looking for some more information on making pasta, you can reference our first class we did, which was the lead pasta class. All right, so being that this is fresh pasta, it is not going to take as long to cook as a dried box pasta. Usually you're looking at about 2 to 3 minutes. And I have a pasta basket. This is going to make it much easier to strain your pasta out. Give it a little shake. And the water will come back up to a boil, and you'll be able to tell when it's ready. Usually the pasta starts to flow. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes, but once your pasta starts to float, you are ready to take your pasta out. And I'm going to go right into the pan. I'm going to add a little bit of pasta water just so it doesn't stick while we're making our sauce. And now we're going to move on to making our sauce. So we are going to make a ricotta and beet based sauce. This is actually going to give you a beautiful bright fuchsia color, very springy. You start with your beets. So this is 3 small beets. I roasted them at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes, but you're always going to want to check with a fork to make sure they're tender. You let them cool for maybe 10-15 minutes and the skin will wipe right off and you could just dice them. And then we're going to add our ricotta. You're going to add about a cup. I have extra here because you're also going to use some more to garnish at the end. Next, you're going to add salt and pepper. Now in this recipe, it does have you use the pasta water to thin out your sauce. And you're going to want to keep in mind that we did salt it heavily. You can always add more salt in later, but you can't take it away. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter, and then we can taste it as we go. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. About a clove of chopped garlic. About a teaspoonish of fresh mint, 2 tablespoons of honey, we're going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. That'll give it a little zing. And then you're going to add just a pinch of nutmeg. So now I have all my ingredients in my blender, and we are going to blend this until it's mixed. And you'll see you have a nice pureed sauce. It is very thick though. So you are going to add a bit of the pasta water to thin it out to a nice consistency where it will coat your pasta. This is actually a very traditional thing. There are a ton of dishes in Italy where your pasta water is actually one of the bases of your sauce. So I put about 3 ladles in. It was probably about a half a cup of water. We'll give it another blend. Check it out. So we're going to give it a blend. And we'll look at the consistency again. We might need to add a little bit more water. I actually think this looks really nice. And we did add a little bit of water in there. Now we are going to add our sauce. And if you have any left over, you could always package it up, freeze it, save it for another day. Just want to get it nice and coated. And it's going to be a beautiful, bright pink, I would say almost fuchsia. You've probably never had pasta this color in your life. Today's your day. We are going to plate. As you can see, the beautiful color. And then to contrast with that color, we have our garnishes. We are going to do a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. We are going to do a sprinkle of a nice Parmesan cheese, fresh mint leaves. Going to give it a beautiful pop of color. Some nice pistachio browns. And then we're going to add a few dollops of our ricotta cheese. I hope you love this beautiful spring pasta dish as much as we do. And if you heart cooking, we heart cooking. That was so